Yes, and hello, Royston Radio. Let's press start and bring Peter in and say, well, first of all, this morning we're live on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and the website. Hello, everybody. And if you're listening in Royston Radio on Saturday morning, Angelica and I are listening with you. Okay. Peter, you sound okay?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Oh, good. Yeah, I can hear you. Okay, so 28 seconds to go. So all systems are ready. Right. Okay, down to 17 seconds, 15 seconds, and the card will disappear and we will appear on screen. Okay. And now. Morning, Peter. Good morning, John.
Good
morning. Is it snowing again in Scotland, Peter?
Well, it was very cold.
Is this AI snow?
That's AI snow. Do you know why I've got it on? Hold on. I've put it on because it's just to get used to it because it's coming, right? And so last night, the actual frost was on the car windscreens when I got home last night from Englandshire. And what a horrible journey we had last night. We left Milton Keynes at 1:30 and we got in at 1:30 in the morning due to that stupid Birmingham area with all the traffic problems. You know, we had a fire on, I think there was a fire on one bit of the motorway, and then there was another hold back, and I know why it is, because they can't drive properly down there. That's the problem. You know, the honking of the weaver bird. You remember that advert? And out honk of the weaver bird, you know. So that was what journey was shattered.
Is that true, John?
Well, it isn't people from Birmingham can't drive. It's the people going through Birmingham on the M6 that can't drive.
Yeah.
So people from up north and down south?
No, it's usually southern softies.
All right.
No,
okay.
you know, we just don't see traffic like that. And I said to Andy, could you imagine someone coming from Shetland, right, down into Birmingham area driving? Because up in Shetland, they don't even have a roundabout that I'm aware of.
Well, no. Yeah, I mean, it'd be a culture shock to actually come from a small island onto the mainland.
Yeah.
And then go down through Scotland, eventually end up in the Midlands.
Yeah.
Where there is traffic. And the M25 as well. I mean, I don't enjoy driving the M25, has to be said. Although it does save time.
I mean, I know when you're up in Aberdeen, you listen to the radio news and say, and the M20, but no famous names, I can't remember them, they're not coming out of my head, but I was saying, Andy, all these names when I lived in London meant something to me. When I was a junction block, junction 16, and I said, when I was in the lorry, I would say, Chungo, let's change course. Now, how's that question? Who remembers Ongo Chungo?
I don't. John?
You don't?
No.
I thought it was an advert for a nice lolly.
No. Do you know what it came from? I'll give you this clue then. Na 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 na.
No, we're not old enough to remember these things, Peter.
Well, it used to be the cartoon that came on, right? And when we were in trouble, they would say, Ongo Chungo, size of an elephant. I wonder if the listeners at Royston remember any of that. Do you remember that?
Quite possibly, because your rendition of the tune brought back memories. It has to be said.
Banana splits, brilliant. Love them.
All right, okay, out into the real world. Who's going to read the book by Nadine Dorries?
I'm reading serial bits about it, yes. I'm reading it in the Daily Mail. Ooh, that's nothing like a woman scorned.
Oh, true. Have you read about the conspiracy theory? Read the section on the conspiracy theory to remove Boris?
Your sound's not all that great, Stephen. I don't know. You're very dull.
John, how do I sound?
You sound fine to me. But when we were first on, there was like a lot of static noise behind you.
Right.
But that's gone for me.
Okay.
Right. So we'll clear up eventually, Peter.
Just seems far away. That's what it sounds to be. Right. Say that
It
again.
is far away.
No, I'm right. Let's go. What was the question?
One of the threads in the book is a plot where conspirators, including Michael Gove, decided that Boris had to go.
Yeah.
And they got rid of him.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And does that not surprise you?
I know there's no love lost between Gove and Johnson. Because Gove lost out to Johnson.
What's happening? Can I just say what's happening in the Labour Party just now? There's about 10 councillors resigned.
Yeah, and there are eruptions in the backbench as well, because basically, well, even in the leadership, because they want Keir Starmer to say ceasefire. Yeah.
And so it goes on in every and for the youngsters, maybe it's listening, go back to the House of Cards. I'm sorry I couldn't give you that ministerial job. I'd give it to Cecil instead. Oh, that's fine, Prime Minister. And he looked at the camera. I'd said this last week and said, I'll take that job and I will do everything it takes to bring you down. That's what he said in his head. And it is so, it's so true.
Indeed. Right. Okay. Now, Peter, you played your part in defending this country and in getting to the stage where we have freedom of speech, and that might have disappeared had the army not been involved.
Yeah.
Now the situation is there is a march on the Armistice Day, 11th day of 11th month, and it's pro-Palestine. And Rishi Sunak and Suella Braverman didn't want this march to go ahead.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Well, I think my thoughts on it, as you probably know, is there's a certain group will be told you can't march through there. And there's a certain group will be told you can march through there. Right? And Twitter is ablaze just now with two people that have been allowed back on the platform. Right?
Yeah, that.
And that one of them said, we're going to the statue, and he's put out on his video, we're going there and we're going to be peaceful. We're going there for a peaceful march to the cenotaph. Hey, peaceful. Couldn't make it any clearer. It's going to be, but I'll tell you this, the police will be waiting there with batons for them. I don't think they'll do it for the other side.
The ceremony at the cenotaph starts at 11. Well, it's underway at 11 o'clock. The march that we're talking about, the Palestine march, starts at an hour and 45 minutes later at 1:45.
Yes.
And it is 2 miles away from the cenotaph.
Yeah.
So it should not, given its original purpose, it should not go anywhere near the cenotaph.
It shouldn't. No. It shouldn't.
But the situation is, we've been told that not to get too political about this, but we've been told that the Conservatives are the party of freedom, and now they're trying to ban a march. And the police, who are independent and have got to make their own judgment on the march, have decided that the march can go ahead because they've not had any intelligence to indicate that there are going to be problems.
Wow.
And Rishi Sunak, our Prime Minister, said, on your head be it.
Well, that's correct.
I don't think.
Well, do you know who's never said anything? The person that really is in charge of the Metropolitan Police, City of London Police. Do you know who it is?
I know that. No, go on.
It's Mayor Khan. He's got the final say.
Yeah,
And he
but
said,
right, he came out yesterday and he said, "I back the police 100%."
okay, right. So, if there's any problems, on their heads be it, right? Because the reason the other group were banned, they thought it was national security. Now, I want you to go. I don't know if you watched Piers Morgan.
No.
Piers Morgan was really caught out yesterday by Douglas Murray. He got him hook, line, and sinker. He said, "Why shouldn't they be allowed to march?" And he said, "Well, put it this way, Piers. I'll put this question to you. If you went on a march and there was Hamas supporters on it, okay, and you went to week 1 and they were there, and you went to week 2 and they were still there, surely you wouldn't go in week 3." And for the first time ever, Piers Morgan was stumped. He says, "I think you're kind of right there." So I'm prepared to go, "Oh, Hamas is on it, I'm not going." Second week, "Oh, they're still there, I'll go anyway." And the third week, again. They fit protests every week, right? Have some dignity. Say, listen, if I would say more to them if they said, "Do you know, this is Armistice Day. We're allowed to talk and have this march because many people are lying over in graves." Some people they were blown to bits, to smithereens, and it was because of them we can do this.
Yes.
It's like spitting on their graves.
Indeed. I mean, the 11th of 11th is a day for remembrance and reflection and appreciation of what has gone before us to get us to where we are today.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I suppose part of me says, okay, there shouldn't be any conflict on that day, that's for sure. There shouldn't be anybody trying to gainsay the hard-won rights that we have today. But then again, freedom of speech is one of those. And
I'm going to ask the controversial thing. Yeah.
Right.
It's 105 years now. Yeah. Since the events that the end of the war that it's celebrated. How much longer is it going to have a relevance? And I ask this for a specific reason. We haven't had a celebration in the Solihull area for 5 years now.
For Armistice?
Yeah, because the British Legion is no longer here to organise it. All the British Legions have become individual clubs in their own right now.
That's right. It's still, they're struggling. That's how they make their money, actually, because they lease the pubs out to, it's actually turned it out for the better, because the pubs that take them over, the pub chains and whatever, they make money and they give British Legion money to, and we're the same, we're the Scottish Legion. But here's the other thing. Do you know there was a poppy collector attacked and punched in Waverley Station? And funnily enough, all those cameras couldn't pick up the person that punched him and said there's not enough evidence. Therefore, there's no poppy sellers out in the street at the moment. And that is a disgrace.
I agree with you, Peter.
Look at your area, Rochdale. Did you see what happened to their cenotaph or their war memorial?
No.
Oh, see, you need to keep abreast, guys. Their memorial has been sprayed with Free Palestine on it. And all the poppies burned. Burned to a cinder. They've had to put a special constable, or whatever they call him, a PCSO, to stand over the war memorial. And that's the thanks that people get for serving country. But woe betide if there's a war and you're called up, you'll be doing your bit, whether you like it or not. And if you don't, you'll go to jail.
Do we need troops Yeah.
Yes, we do.
They want no.
Yes.
They want professionals. They do not want cannon fodder squaddies these days, Peter. Surely.
They still need their cannon fodder. Those poor Israeli soldiers that are up in the front line are just now, and they're going into Gaza, infiltrating. Every day I see pictures of people that have been killed, Israeli soldiers, on one of the websites, thanking them for their service. They've been killed, going to get Hamas. And yes, they do, because all these people that people say are maybe scum of the earth, right wingers, and all that, all working people. Guess who would be first to go over the top for this country? Those same people they would be calling on from the mining villages, from the
Peter,
little
we
council
won't have
estates.
that kind of war in our environment. The war that you're talking about in the Middle East is a religious war that's using more modern technology.
No, I'm on about if anything happened.
Okay, so I've got to disagree with you, John. Not basically, if you look at the war in Ukraine, it is about people, as it is in Israel and Gaza.
Yeah.
It is about troops. It is about numbers, and it is about battlefield.
Yeah.
Basically, and you need people. You need people to be
You
involved.
still need boots in the ground. It's all about frontline troops at the moment. It's frontline troops that are fighting on that border at the moment. And it always will be. You still need, Britain made a big, we still need tanks at times.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they cut back on the tanks, and because it'll get the military warfare in the future. So, we've got drones. Not if they block them in some way in the future. You're still going to have troops on the ground. Remember, the world goes full circle. Did you know in Iraq and Afghanistan, some soldiers actually done a bayonet charge? British soldiers in this day and age.
Yeah. Yeah.
The last full battle one was in Mount Longdon. Right, was it Mount Longdon? Where the Scots Guards fixed bayonets and went and routed the Argentine troops. No, that wasn't all that long ago.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. It was in Thatcher's time, and
51 years ago.
The thing is that we've been told that we only need a peacetime military, and everything's been scaled back. Cutbacks have been made because we don't notice it. When they cut 100 million off the military budget, we don't feel a thing. There's not ordinary citizens. It only matters when the army's needed.
Yeah, and we'll get caught with. Do you know what I really admire? When the call came, I didn't know this, but the reservists of the Israeli army, they flew in from all over the world. Although they live in different countries, right? They're actually reservists, and they flew in all over the world to go and join a unit. I thought it was great,
Yeah.
Now, one disturbing thing that I seen yesterday, and we've got to find out if it's factual. When Hamas come over that border to do what they do, now I've got to get it because it was on the internet. Is that there were journalists with them?
It's possible, Peter. I mean,
CNN, AP, taking pictures of them capturing people and putting them on the bikes and everything.
Yeah.
Journalists with them, so they knew.
But then the BBC did that yesterday. The BBC went into Gaza with the Israeli Defense Force.
Yeah, but they'll have invited the men to say, "Come on, see what we're doing," right? But the Hamas, they probably said to them, "Let's go and watch us slaughter some people. Come on, come with us and watch us."
The thing is, Peter, that how on earth, this is going to be asked after the war, how on earth is it that one of the best security services in the world, which is the Israeli Security Force, we're led to believe, didn't have an inkling that something else was going to happen, and especially since, as you just said, the press were there as well.
I'll tell you what happened. From what I've read up on it,
Yeah.
they actually put a drone in to hit out the monitoring site
Yeah.
out of action, so they couldn't see that area. Hey,
Yeah.
this was very well planned. I've actually got to, as a military manoeuvre, you've got to congratulate them and how they done it, not what they done.
No.
Knocked out the listening station or the observation area. I mean, they've got all over the border. So they took that out, and then they flew in with a little kite things or whatever you call them, and then they cut the border and come through.
Yeah.
That was a well executed, but they went on to commit murder.
Yeah. But if you've got journalists, and probably not all independent, if you've got journalists embedded with a fighting force, then the people who are employing them know about it. So many people know about it. The Israeli intelligence should have known about it, irrespective of the fact that they couldn't see at the time what was going on because security was compromised.
Yeah.
Somebody somewhere should have known that something was afoot. Okay.
Well, the problem, even the BBC, they've got 6 journalists at the moment. I do believe they're suspended at the moment, right?
Yeah.
Because they're from the countries that support basically Hamas. They were Hamas supporters, to be honest with you, and they've been suspended while they're looking at what happened because they were biased, you know. And this is the problem. And you've got to say, what journalist is going to come out against Hamas in those countries, unless you want your throat cut?
Yeah. It's a tricky line to tread, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. But they're basically Secretary Blinken has basically told the Israelis that they are not going to. They should not. It's all advisory at the moment, but they should not basically take control of Gaza when the war is finished. That they should move out and leave the Palestinian people to rule themselves.
Well, do you know what they should put in? United Nations troops from all countries and have a buffer zone, just like they've got in Cyprus, and say, right, troops in, Egyptian troops, whoever's in United Nations with the blue helmets, get them in and patrol the border, right? Just like they were hoping for in Northern Ireland and Ireland. Ireland wanted the UN in. So, and they were going to go in by force. All coming back. So, get the United Nations in and have a buffer zone around it. And the United Nations can watch Hamas fire rockets in and say, oh, they fired from there. They fired from there. Yeah. Because it can't certainly go back to what it, and what people don't realise, there are people in Palestine, they want rid of Hamas. They've never had a fair election since.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you another, the media campaign by Israel is great at the moment. Do you know what they've got? They've got pictures of the Hamas leaders lying in expensive hotel bedrooms, in the lap of luxury, hidden away, telling everybody else to go and kill for them. And they're lapping it up with their big cars and the plenty money and the beautiful women while the plebs go and get killed. I'm going to have a coffee now. And
okay. You've earned it, Peter.
You can see I'm passionate about it. I'm with you, Israel. Don't you worry.
Right. I just want the war to come to an end and the people who are actually in Gaza to get the assistance that they need in terms of food and water. And I understand Israel's right not to be attacked again. And I mean, all the governments of the world, well, most of the governments of the world are actually behind them in removing Hamas as a threat. So we are basically thousands of miles away from everything that's going on there. But the thing is that we have a large Jewish community in Europe, in England, and they must have, I mean, we can empathise with the Jewish community in England, and as the Prime Minister said, as a people, we don't think that hate crime should take place. That the Jews should feel safe in England, as Jewish people. Or in fact, everybody should feel safe in England, Peter. Peter's still getting his coffee and saying thumbs up. That's the police. The police and the army actually keep England a peaceful place to live. When we're going about our day-to-day lives, we don't need to think about it. We don't need to think about, is it safe to go into town? Is it safe to walk in the countryside? We just assume, because of everybody who's looking after us in the background, it is. I mean, we are fortunate, Peter, to actually live in Great Britain.
We have got a fantastic country, you know, so much so that people come over in boats from France to get into it. They're so happy to come to Britain. You see them praying on the ground, going, we're in heaven. We're going to get money. We're going to get a house. This is wonderful. That's how great Britain is.
Yeah, but it's also great because of what the freedoms that we have, and basically life in the country.
No, we used to have freedoms.
What? Yeah, well, you talked about two people earlier who got their freedom back on Twitter.
Only on Twitter.
Yeah.
Now, you know my channel I watch.
It's called GB News.
Yeah, well, they got hammered yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because what they said is there may be problems with right-wing football hooligans who may cause problems, and they got slaughtered yesterday by the people that watched them. So this is what it's came to. And one guy, Martin Dobney, who's an MEP, he's of that. And they says, don't worry, Martin, they'll get rid of you too. They've just signed their own death warrant. They've turned it on the people.
Yeah.
Do you know what they done? They took it down because they must have said, you get that off of there. Because you're gone. Because there's somebody else who's been deplatformed. Do you know who that is?
Not yet. Go.
You know?
No.
Carol Vorderman.
Yes, but I was talking about this yesterday with Angelica. I mean, basically, if you are a presenter, do you have the right to a private life and your own opinions? And the BBC, after the Gary Lineker incident, have said your contract is going to be updated, and you do not have the right as a public figure on the BBC to say anything political, to call for the downfall of the government.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? That's basically, in a nutshell, that's basically what
You'll
happened.
find in a lot of employment contracts, people are saying this.
Yeah.
If our name gets mentioned where you work and it brings us into disrepute in any way, you will be instantly dismissed.
Yeah, just for a bit of background on this, Carol Vorderman has a Twitter account with a large number of followers, and therefore has a voice on Twitter.
Right.
Sorry, X. Voice on Twitter sounds better than voice on X. And she's posted consistently about the Conservative government and how quickly they should go. And the BBC have said you can't do that. Carol Vorderman said, well, I am who I am. I'm not going to change who I am. I'm not going to close my Twitter account to stay on the BBC. I'm leaving the BBC. And she did, didn't she? She just went.
Well,
no.
The thing is she left, or they said your contract's not there anymore?
Ah, right. They might have given. Do you think they might have given the dignity of leaving on her own?
Well, do you know when they got rid of Rommel? Rommel was a great general in the Nazis' army in Germany, and they took him in and they says, "We know you've been plotting against us. Now, you could die a hero, or you could die a traitor. As a suicide pill, which way do you want to go?"
Yeah.
And he took the suicide pill, and he got great burial. Yeah, that's how it works. Carol, do you want to go on your own accord, or do you want to say we sacked you? What do you want?
Yeah. she's not the only person on the BBC to have their own opinions. I mean, she wasn't even running a political show. Hers was an entertainment broadcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talking of which, reminds me of the radio. So, Royston Radio, hello. Thank you for listening to us on a Saturday morning. The time is now approximately, I can't say it exactly, approximately 11:30, and we appreciate your being with us. If you have any questions about what's going on in the UK and observations, just pass them on to the station. They'll pass them on to us, and we'll respond to them next week. This, by the way, I know you've been listening for 30 minutes. I want to say welcome to the show, and this is Blowing for Britain, 397, episode 397, which means in 3 weeks' time, it's episode 400. And I was speaking to John beforehand, and John, you have volunteered to?
Right, I do a bit of paperwork.
Right.
No, digital paperwork.
Okay.
We're going to have a 400th episode show card created by John.
What date is that on?
Sorry?
What date will that be?
3 weeks today.
Yeah,
Yes.
date I need. Date I need.
30th.
That will be the day I come back from holiday.
Oh, that's good timing then, Peter.
Yes.
Yeah.
But wow, the time's went in already, and we just can't stop John talking.
No,
Not really very good. I did warn you all yesterday.
We've seen that yesterday. Now, what's happening in America? Right. Have you seen the Trump judge won't let him talk?
Well, he wants him to talk on point. He wants him to stop all the politicking and just answer the questions.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
The judge's wife and the judge's son have both got Twitter accounts, right? And there's a lady, a Jewish lady there called Laura Luna, and she's found him on Twitter spouting off about Trump and things like that, you know? And her husband's a judge and they hate him. And all of a sudden, they've shut their accounts. I wonder why that might be. They've shut their accounts.
Probably.
Everybody knows what they're up to. Yeah? Their day will come. Their day will come. Be careful what you wish for, because it doesn't matter if Trump doesn't. See, when the Republicans get in, they'll have a list and say, right, who's first on the list to get impeached? What about Nancy Pelosi? Let's get her first.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, right. John usually says, right, okay.
Blood pressure, Peter. Blood pressure.
Speaking John's part there.
I'm sure
The thing about,
you can't hack it.
I mean, there are going to be many trials for ex-President Trump, and the situation, if you're a realist, situation is that the judge has already decided that they are guilty. So verdicts finished. What they're talking about now is how much to get fined. And what will happen is that at the end of, I mean, Ivanka gave a testimony yesterday and said nothing. Her brothers said nothing. Nobody's saying anything against Dad, which is reasonable. I mean, I think we do. Hopefully, that the same would happen to us. But at the end of his deliberations, then the judge is going to hand down a penalty. Okay, now that penalty could be hundreds of millions of dollars. What it won't do, because this is not a criminal trial, is it won't disqualify Trump from running for president in 2024. So he's going to run for president in 2024, come what may, because as soon as this verdict is the ruling is done, he's going to appeal. Yeah. He's in the appeal. He's going to say, right, okay, thank you very much. Let's move on. I'm going to appeal that. We'll sort of look at it again a couple of years down the road.
Yeah. Here's another thing for you. This is British, this one. Have you heard of Aaron Banks?
Yeah. Who hasn't?
I haven't.
You haven't. Have you heard of Carol? We call her Carol Codswallop or whatever it is. It's Carol. She writes for The Guardian.
Oh, right. Well, I've probably read her articles, yes.
Right. She said that her and Nigel Farage were in Russian collusion, right? Now, This guy owned Sheila's Wheels. He's an insurance man. Very, very rich man.
Yeah.
Took years to take her to court.
Uh-huh.
And I think he's won 1.3 million. And
Yeah.
she's tried to beat him 3 times. And yesterday, or the day before, he won them all. She's lost. And she crowdfunded to get the money to fight him. And she's went to court. And she's lost. Big time.
Excuse me.
Yeah. And that's what's happened. Nigel Farage said he would have done the same, but he says he couldn't take the financial risk.
Mm.
But this guy done it, nearly bankrupted him, nearly finished his business because of the Russian lies hoax that she put out from The Guardian, employed by The Guardian.
Uh-huh.
Fair and square beating in court. The day of judgment came. It took about 6 years, I believe. They just couldn't get away with it willy-nilly anymore.
Right.
Well,
On a personal note, Angelica and I took a decision this week, which means that we are no longer on the twinning committee in Devisers. I've stepped down as chairman after 8 years and 8 months.
yeah,
I think it's time for somebody new. The
yeah,
town clerk thinks it's time for somebody new as well to actually lead us forward. The celebration we had, the twinning weekend we had this year was just spectacular. It worked so well. Everybody enjoyed themselves.
yeah,
And the meeting was called of people who hosted during the twinning weekend. And as is our normal thing, Angelica and I walked into the room 5 minutes before the meeting's due to start. And we walked into the room and we were faced with a long table with about 35 people already sat around it. Now, normally, when we have a meeting about twinning, there are 2 men and a dog. Yeah, so we're faced with 35 people. So what we've got is a situation where all these people who hosted twinning this year actually enjoyed it so much, they want to take part and they're volunteered. So there's going to be a new committee formed and take it forward. You know, you've got to know when you read to buy a room of 35 people, all enthusiastic about twinning, all wanting it to move forward, and you've been sat doing it for 8 years, you say, well, now's the time to hand over.
yeah. Well, no, I think you should tell the truth, Stephen. This big table, and this says, "Welcome to your tribunal." You will resign, or else a suicide bill.
I mean, there are factors, obviously. Having the main factor is that it's time. It simply is time. Everything has its time.
Yeah.
And you've got to know when to actually move on. So
yeah. The hardest word to say in the world is no.
Indeed.
And I've used that quite a lot. Could you match their price? No.
Yeah.
Do you want a good job done? Yes. Do you want it done tomorrow? Yes. That's why I'm saying no to their price.
Right. Okay. And talking of jobs done, for the last 6 months, I've been talking about Angelica and I having gigabit internet installed and having the fastest speed in the world. And I've not said much about it.
Right.
Today, though, between the hours of 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock, the engineers will arrive and will actually install gigabit internet. Now, they've been messaging Angelica all week, so we know it's going to take place. We know they've got the gear to do it.
Right.
And our show next week will definitely be faster because I've got gigabit internet. John's already got it. And Peter pitched as well.
Yes, I've had gigabit internet for years, but I'm seriously thinking that before Christmas I will change my supplier for financial reasons.
Yeah.
Because when I got my gigabit, it's not the same up and down, which modern gigabit is. It was a choice of one. Now there are almost 50 people providing gigabit services outside the house.
Yeah.
Well, I've just done a speed test, and remember, I'm using Deco, right? 37.1 out in my garage.
That's impressive, Peter. That's good.
And that was pinged to Dublin. It went to. Is that not amazing? I wish my emails could be as fast as that.
You're still struggling with it? You're still struggling with email?
We don't know what's wrong. So I maybe get a Google Workplace one email. I'll probably go for that. Yeah.
It's reliable, it's fast, and I mean, Google aren't going anywhere.
No. Have you got a Workspace one, Stephen?
Yeah, I've had it for about 10 years.
Must you pay for it?
I pay the going right. It's about £80 a year, something like that.
All right, okay. Well, I'm going to look at that because we've changed our call centre. They still haven't got the weekends right, and I'm just streamlining everything, you know. And yeah.
Yeah, so we're looking forward. I mean, the thing is, having an internet that is so fast, you don't really need it, but it's good to have it. Basically, if I was watching an Amazon Prime movie downstairs and Angelica started uploading something to the web, then the television would stop and we'd have to say, right, okay, it's going to take 20 minutes to upload, can't watch television. 20 minutes, you can't use your own computer because the other computer is busy uploading. Now, not only will the uploads be like lightning, but there'll have been no effect whatsoever on any other device in the house.
Yeah.
So
I get 1,043 down,
but
only 52 up.
Well, this is 1,000 down, 1,000 up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is because it's the older version of gigabit. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I've just done my mobile phone as well, and I'm getting 30 download on my phone outside.
Okay. Well, for the last time, just a minute. Let's do this live. I am now going to run a speed test, and for the last time, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to press go now, and I'm going to give you the results in a minute. Because basically, we've been broadcasting today for 8 years now, getting close to episode 400. And in all that time, my broadband has improved, but it can't even do the test at the moment.
Yeah.
I'll come back in a second.
Yeah.
But we rely on the internet so much now. I mean, our lives are on the internet.
Could you imagine if the internet went down the whole world?
No. It just collapsed.
There'd be much crying.
Yeah. You imagine electricity disappearing. Yeah. I mean, it's bad enough when they do a planned service of the grids and you've actually no electricity for 9 hours, or the water board come in and they're fixing a leak and water for 9 hours. Yeah. At least you know it's going to finish. But if it just stopped, we'd be lost, wouldn't we?
Well, it's the same with me. 2 Saturdays ago, I changed over to a new company, but they don't answer their calls until 9 in the morning. My call went off at 8. I know when there's a call and down to it, and I hadn't transferred it. I was like a cat in a hot tin roof. Jumped about and I managed to trace him and save the job. But I was much upset, you know. How's that question for you guys?
So I did the speed test.
Yeah.
While we were doing this, which does affect phones. I also said 52 meg up and forgot that they doubled that. So my speed test was 863.47 down and 104.48 up. And that too was connected to Belfast, actually, not yours was Dublin, was it?
My second one, my phone was London. I don't know how the testament, but is that the speedtest.net?
Yeah, it's not the recommended testing for higher performance, but
right. I mean, look at when we first started together, guys, how tough it was at times. You remember that?
Oh, yeah. We had mega problems in those days, didn't we?
Yeah. I mean, with my computer, I didn't have an i7, and There was a big argument because I was wanting to dig up the land and put a cable, and Sheila wouldn't let me, and all this sort of stuff. And then this deco and everything came out. It's fantastic.
Yeah, we've come a long way.
I just wonder what the future's going to be. What can you predict?
Yeah.
I was going to say, Virgin Media and several other major organisations recommends Sam knows real speed. Yeah.
Right.
For your test. And that gives completely weird figures compared to speed test.
Right.
Because that says I get, but it actually identifies your specific router.
Okay.
And then runs tests based on the abilities of the router. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I've only run the down low, but that gives me 1148. But identifies the fact that I've got a Virgin Media and the particular model of thing.
Could you type in the name of it in chat? I'm going to try it.
It's Sam Knows.
Sam Knows.
Sam, as in Sam, SAM. Knows.com/real speed.
Knows or Mows?
Knows as in I know what you're saying. So it's SAMKNOWS.com/real speed.
Right. Okay, the results are in, and for the last time live on air. I shouldn't be on air according to this, because my download speed is 28.72 megabytes and my upload speed is 3.46, which means I shouldn't be able to do live video, and I certainly shouldn't be able to do live video with 3 people on screen.
Yeah, so, but you've got to take into account the bandwidth that's being stolen by, well, us lot all talking. Yeah. So you're really getting more than that 28, aren't you? Because
no, 32 is max I've seen.
Yeah, but whilst the speed test is running, we're all talking at the same time.
Yeah. But it's not going to change it perceptively, John, because I know when I've had nobody on the internet just had the computer on and Gallica's not been on, and it is 32 download.
It's not recognizing my network. It's not letting me do it. Sam Knows. I remember Sam Knows. I think if you go into their website, it tells you everybody kind of speed. So, wow.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we are due snow next week, actually.
Are you?
Yeah. Oh. I could do with some snows to bring some rats in.
You mean you want them indoors rather than outdoors?
Yeah. Lovely jubbly.
Yeah. I went out for my walk this morning at 8:05, and it's beautiful this morning. It's only about 7 degrees, but it was beautiful to just be out walking in the fresh air. Yeah. But I have to say that I didn't do my normal walk because I left my phone and it ran out of battery, so I couldn't take my phone with me, which meant that I couldn't listen to music, which meant I had to walk without music. Now, I'm not used to doing that. It was a novel experience, I've got to say that, because every time I go out, I'm listening to rock music. So that's why I've recharged my phone. I'm recharging the headset now, so that my Aeropex aftershocks, which are down in the carousel, $6.99. Yeah.
I just found mine again. Sheila had put them away. I've been looking at them for 2 years. Yeah. I give her a pair as well, knowing she wouldn't use them, so I've got 2.
Yeah, you got a spare. Yeah, I've got a spare. In fact, I've got an IPVO stand, and I've got 3 pairs of headphones. Those are the aftershocks that I bought about 4 years ago. Those are the ones that Soundpeats sent me. They sent me 2 sets of headphones, and 2 sets of earbuds for free.
Yeah.
And all I had to do was to do 1 broadcast. Yeah. And I thought, well, that's not fair. So $200 worth of kit for 1 broadcast. I thought, no, I did 2 broadcasts. So I did
That's
2
good.
broadcasts on Amazon Live. Yeah. So there you go. So my phone's now.
I'm still living in the past because the only pair of headphones I possess has this funny little thing on the end, you know?
Yeah, I can't put things in
Into a
my ear
hole.
now.
And the reason is I can't stick things in my ears.
Yeah,
Well, that's
So
more.
these all collapse down and you can put them in your pocket, but they've got a traditional style earphone
yeah.
outside your ear.
Just a minute. I'm battling with something here, as you can probably tell. It was a good idea to put everything together. John, don't go in your ear. $24.99.
All right.
Yeah, Soundpeats. Let's do a bit of selling. Basically, when I put anything on Amazon, I always test it first. And these go over your ear like that. $24.99, remember. And they actually are called air headphones because the
Yeah.
sound, the speakers there are just above your ear or just inside your ear, but they don't go into your ear itself. So you don't have to stick
That's
anything with
interesting.
no earbuds, right? When you pair it, it pairs beautifully. When you listen to music, you've got a great bass. And the thing is that if I switch this on now, I've got to find out how to switch it on. It's so long since I used it. When I switch it on, I've got an app on my Android phone, which allows me to set my own personal equalizer. You know, we all hear things differently.
Yeah.
We've all got different hearing ranges. Well, it runs a 10-minute test on the mobile phone to find out which ranges you can actually hear. Yeah.
Wow.
And then it puts together an equalizer which only sends you those ranges and emphasizes those ranges. So the quality of sound for everybody else is sort of normal, but the quality of sound is tailored for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're talking $24.99.
Look, I
What's the
found
name
some
of them?
up-to-date technology in the drawer the other day.
Yeah. I was thinking of getting a flip phone, the new ones that fold up into a little square. You seen them?
Yeah, I've seen those. Yeah.
Then you could put them in your pocket because my phones are all too big.
It's very, very Joe. It's very Joe 90, Peter. It's very Jetsons.
Yeah, I like that. But it's the flip upwards, not flip sideways.
Right. Okay. Well, Star Trek then.
Hey, Peter, have you not noticed?
Your haircut.
Yeah.
Where's your hair gone?
The woman swept it away and put it in the bin, I would imagine.
Okay. Okay. What motivated you
I was
to
fed up with it.
All right. Okay. That's a good motivation as any, really. That's where Angelica is at the
I've
moment.
still got it. That's the most important thing. Yeah.
Stephen, going back to that AirPods, what's the name of them?
Soundpeats. I'll send you a link after, Peter.
Soundbeats.
SOUND
Yeah.
PEATS.
Soundbeats.
Soundpeats are a Chinese company,
All right.
and they have 20 million customers worldwide,
Wow.
and they are a recognized brand. And in actual fact, I have said 3 sets of earbuds from them. Oh, there we go. There's the earbuds. These are hi-fi.
Oh, yeah.
These are brilliant. People love these. Hi-fi enthusiasts love these. So the thing that's important to Soundpeats is 2 things. One is the sound quality, because they make sure you, as I said, you've got a separate mixer.
Yeah.
And the other is price. Yeah, they compete on price. I've told you this is $24.99.
Yeah.
When you go and look, it might be $19.99. Yeah.
I'll have a look for them.
Yeah,
Do you
I'll
know
send
what I
you.
like? I've got big ones that will make but the suction pad's always pushing in. It's sore eventually. So I like to lie in the bath and listen to the things, YouTube and that, and lie
Yeah.
back in the bath and listen.
What you need, Peter. I've been doing this now. I've been on Amazon Live for the last 2 years. What you actually need is these. Let
Yeah.
me go full screen for a moment.
Yeah.
But Royston Radio, we apologise. This is basically on screen, and I'm going to go here. These are One Audio headphones. Okay.
Right.
Now, basically, they've got a cable like John's, and they just plug in Yeah, so it's a 3.5mm jack.
Yeah.
But these are, first of all, they're cushioned at the top,
Mhm.
which is important for you and I, Peter.
Yeah.
That cushioning at the top. Then the actual device there, that's cushioned. Okay.
Yeah.
To help us guys, one is actually labeled left and the other one is labeled right.
Yes.
And the sound quality on these is just incredible. Blows you away. And
Yeah.
basically, I got a set of these for Angelica last Christmas. Yeah. And the things that she said about them, she loves them. Yeah. There are two things. One, basically, when you put these on, you just can't hear anybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah. They can't hear what you're playing. There's very little leakage, so nobody knows what you're listening to. And the other thing is that, as far as I'm concerned, when Angelica has her headphones on, I know I don't need to talk.
Correct.
I don't hear anything I say.
Well,
Yeah.
this is what Sheila said to me one day. Would you put on headphones? So I got my headphones, right? Put them on.
Yeah.
I cannot hear anything else. And I
Right.
see her looking as much to say, I'm speaking to you. This is a kind of win. This is the earphones is on. I can't hear a thing. I can't hear what's on. She'll say, comment someone in the television. I said, Sheila, I've got earphones on. I can't hear a thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Be careful what you wish for.
Now, what you really need, Peter,
Yeah.
is a couple of waterproof speakers that stick to the tiles in the bathroom.
Yes, I had them as well. The one
But the latest versions are so good, it's not true.
well, I'll maybe get that as a Christmas present.
You
Send
want
her a link. I'll say to she because Sheila never knows what to buy me. She says, "You've got everything you need, have you?" I goes, "Yeah, I've got everything I need. Have you? Have you guys got everything you need, basically?"
Yeah, I'm sure.
Probably, yeah.
I'm hard to shop for, you know.
I bought something yesterday. I bought a pair of horses.
Horses.
Yeah, store
Right.
horses. Yeah, because every time I have to put my sawhorses in the car, they're plastic. No, they fold flat, but they're still 3 foot tall.
Yeah.
And I saw on eBay, not eBay, on Facebook. God, my brain doesn't work. A review of a pair of where you sawhorses that fold in, the legs fold inside each other, and all you do is pull a button on each end, and the legs drop down. And then when you push them back up, they've got a carry handle on them. So I bought a pair of these. They cost me £42 and 70 something pence delivered.
Yeah.
And I ordered them at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and they were delivered at 9:10 in the morning.
That's good, though.
Yeah, and they didn't come from local either. And DHL delivered them, and it was my usual man, Sonny, who's used to be our DPD man, but for the last few years has been our DHL man.
Yeah.
And I'm really looking forward to using them. And one of the features that I really like that I actually didn't appreciate when I watched the video is there's some hooks on the end that you can put some 1.5 by 2.5 inch wood and then join them together to create a platform. So for putting things like doors and things on. So that's my technology of the week that I've.
Yeah. I say to Sheila, what do you think? I wonder if MD's made this yet. No, you think of something. And it's amazing what you find. I've yet to be beaten and say, right, well, just typing in something and it comes up. Say, that's what I'm wanting, you know?
Right.
Do you know what I'm looking for now? I'm looking for the lightest power charger, no battery, spare one, to carry with me. The lightest but really powerful.
Okay, I've got to say this, and I can say this every week. John, it's over to you.
Okay.
Is it that time already? My God. Okay, so it's 11 o'clock. And it's time for us to leave. So it's goodbye from the wintry north, even if it's only virtual. It's goodbye from, I guess it's probably sunny in Wiltshire because
It's
it's
sunny south,
certainly
yeah.
sunny here. So it's goodbye from the three of us. Same time, same place next week for episode 398.
Wow.
Goodbye.
Bye. Okay, and